with your host, Andrew Romanella.
When you play Battle in Mario Kart and you don't turn off any of the items,
the first problem is with the owner of the Carolina Panthers. Okay, you're in it. I don't think I'm good enough in this spot based on my own personal mental health, so I can't continue. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of The Rome Show here on 12ouncesports.com, broadcasting live on YouTube, X, and Roku TV. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. We got you for the next 30 and change and a lot of things to dissect on this hump day. Wednesday.
Guess what day it is?
We got a lot coming to you. We got Hump Day headlines. We got an MLB 2025 Hall of Fame class. We have some picks. So much to do, and we want to hear from you. If you go to youtube.com/12OZ Sports, you can go to The Rome Show, and you can comment live on the show. Or if you follow us on any social media handle, The Rome Show 1 or 12OZ Sports on Twitter gives you another direct line to the show while we are broadcasting this fantastic program. So do that while watching. And then, of course, follow all the social medias, The Rome Show 1 or 12OZ Sports, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, all of them. Follow us. You know the drill. Yesterday, Major League Baseball announced its 2025 Hall of Fame class, and 3 members were elected for the second straight year into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Please hold your applause till the end. No, I'm kidding. The 3 members elected into the Baseball Hall of Fame class of 2025 were Ichiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner. Congratulations to Ichiro, CC, and Billy Wagner. We got some information on it all for you, but the most intriguing information of all was Ichiro was voted in as the most in this class with 99.746% of the vote. That means he received 339 of 393, sorry, dyslexia there, 393 of a possible 394 votes. He is second all-time in percentage points for a position player to Derek Jeter, who received 99.748% of the votes. And essentially, Derek Jeter missed out on 1 Hall of Fame vote, and Ichiro Suzuki missed out on 1 Hall of Fame vote. The only difference is there are 3 less Hall of Fame voters today than there were when Derek Jeter was being voted in. So Ichiro Suzuki, essentially, in my book, joins Derek Jeter as the 2 players that were voted into the Hall of Fame on the position player side with the most amount of votes. Still waiting for the unanimous one on the position player side. There's only been 1 unanimous Hall of Fame voting in the history of the Major League Baseball. That was Mariano Rivera in 2019. Mind-blowing, in my opinion, that's even a conversation that we should be having. I'm not saying that every single player that gets voted into the Hall of Fame should have been voted in at 100%, but there are certain players, okay, that deserve to be voted in at 100%, and only 1 has ever done that. And that, to me, is mind-blowing. I don't see how certain statistics, certain things that you do in this game could ever warrant a media member or a Hall of Fame exec or whoever has that voting right to not vote for Ichiro Suzuki. Like, if 393 of 394 people voted for Ichiro to be in the Hall of Fame, who the hell are you? And don't tell me, because each voter can have up to 10 slots filled out for their Hall of Fame ballot. Don't tell me that you said, oh, I want to give that vote to somebody else because Ichiro's being voted in. Well, unless that was one of the votes you gave to Billy Wagner, okay, now I'm going to pop up all the voting from this year on the screen. Based on the statistics that I see of the voting from this year, only 4 players were possible really to get voted in this year, and the 3 of the 4 got voted in because Carlos Beltran only got 70% of the votes, and you need 75 or more percentage votes to make it into the Hall of Fame. So it's not like that one singular vote went to anyone else. I guess my point is I don't believe that there should only be a small one-person group of unanimous into the Hall of Fame. I believe that there are a multitude of players across the history of this game that probably should have been voted in 100%. Okay? So it just blows my mind. And I'd like to hear from that guy. I want to hear from that person. Why did Derek Jeter miss out on a vote? Why Ken Griffey Jr.? Why Tom Seaver? Why Ichiro Suzuki? Like, tell me why. When there's that low of a number of people, anyone, let's call it this, any person that's been voted into the Hall of Fame with at least 95% of the vote in the history of the game, I want to hear from the voters who didn't vote those people into the Hall of Fame. That small group of people that would say no to a 95%er, okay? Like an Ichiro, I need to hear from you as to why. And I cannot respect your vote for the Hall of Fame unless it's a logical reason. And I don't know what that logical reason becomes. And this has been my issue with the Hall of Fame every year. But if you look at your screen, here is the voting percentages from this year and the names on the ballot. The only name you're missing on the bottom there is Ben Zobrist, who also, like Fernando Rodney and Hanley Ramirez, received 0 of 0 on their first year on the ballot. Now, CeCe Sabathia and Ichiro get in their first year on the ballot. Billy Wagner's on his 10th and final year on the OG traditional Hall of Fame ballot. I got some information on the Billy Wagner one for you. In 2016, Billy Wagner was on the ballot for the first time, and he only received 10.5 percentage points voting. In 2024, that was last year's election, Billy Wagner received 73.8% of the vote, essentially 4 to 5 votes off from being a Hall of Fame member. In his final year on the ballot, Billy Wagner receives 325 of 394 votes and makes it into the Hall of Fame. Now, I do believe that Billy Wagner deserves to be a Hall of Fame member. If you want to check out his career stats up on your screen right now, some really important ones. He finished his career with 422 saves. That's 8th all-time on the all-time saves list. He's number 1, I believe, all-time in terms of left-handed pitchers. I believe that's ERA for left-handed pitchers that qualify for over 500 innings or something along those lines. And he had a career 2.31 ERA with 1,196 strikeouts. I bring this up just because those are good numbers, probably in terms of relievers and closers and where the game is trending over the last 25 to 35 years with that bullpen role. It makes a little bit more sense that over 10 years on the ballot, people would look at the career of Billy Wagner differently. Okay. But at the end of the day, it is still strange for somebody to be on the ballot 10 years ago. And essentially, if we look back at the Hall of Fame voting statistics, receive so it's 10 votes, it's 10%. So he received essentially 45 votes his first year on the ballot. And now 10 years later, he has received almost 300 more votes to become a Hall of Famer. I feel like that's a drastic change. And again, no slight on Billy Wagner, just maybe a slight on the process we have here for the MLB. To finish, all right, CC Sabathia received 86.8% of the votes. That's 342 out of 394. Sabathia's career statistics are on the screen for you now. He had 251 wins. He is an elusive member of the 3000K club, one of 19 members of the 3000K club. He is a 6-time All-Star with a career 3.74 ERA. Some absolutely dominant years at a CC Sabathia, especially when the Milwaukee Brewers were workhorsing him. And then finally, the man that was almost unanimous, who should be unanimous. Like, there's no one in the history of America, in Nippon professional baseball, in any other country that has professional baseball, that would tell you that Ichiro quite possibly isn't the greatest professional baseball player offensively of all time. That's not a joke. When Ichiro finished his career between Nippon and MLB, his 2 pro careers, he had 4,367 hits. That is, yes, more than the MLB leader in Pete Rose. Now, I do understand that Pete Rose only did that in Major League Baseball, but you got to remember, okay, if you're going to look back on Ichiro's stats right here, this first season in Seattle for Ichiro's is in 2001. Okay, different world we were living in getting international players to Major League Baseball. All right. But Ichiro Suzuki still had 3,000 hits plus in his Major League Baseball career, finished it with 3,089. Okay. So when you look at professional baseball and its history, no matter where it's played, because he was able to come to Major League Baseball and do this, essentially on his stats from MLB alone, Ichiro Suzuki would be a Hall of Famer, let alone the stats that he brings from outside of Major League Baseball, the hardest professional baseball league that we see. So, such a good league, such a good transition that Ichiro opened the door to conversations we have now about guys like Shohei Ohtani and Roki Sasaki and all of these players that are coming from the NBL, NPL, Nippon Pro League, not Nippon Baseball League, I'm sorry. He opened this door. And I'm sure if you see, obviously, how good he is, I mean, his rookie year, he won the MVP and he won the Rookie of the Year. That is unbelievably impressive stuff. Okay? Ichiro Suzuki has my vote for the greatest offensive professional baseball player of all time. And the cool part about him is, outside of the 3,089 hits in Major League Baseball, 1,278 hits in the NPL, the 4,367 hits he had, the 10 straight seasons of 200 plus hits, Ichiro could do it all. You know, he looked like a slap hitter, quote unquote. He wasn't. He could be a power hitter. He could be a gap guy. He could be a contact guy. He could bunt. Anything Ichiro needed to do for his team, he could do. And by the way, he was an elite level defender. Okay. He was a 10-time All-Star, 10 seasons in a row. Those same 10 seasons, he had 200 plus hits. I mean, it's just impressive stuff. So your 2025 Hall of Fame class for Major League Baseball, those ceremonies go on in the summertime. If you want to check out CC, Billy Wagner, or Ichiro Suzuki's induction into Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame. I told you it was Wednesday. That means it's a hump day. So when we get back from this commercial break, we got the Hump Day headlines for you. We're going to take you around every professional league we got here and give you the most important news from those leagues and our thoughts. Plus, we took an all hockey slate last night in Daily Bananas because it was Tuesday, and we are joined every Tuesday by our favorite guest, one Rocky Romanella for Hockey with Rocky. So we tailor our picks on Tuesdays towards the ice, whereas tonight we thought, let's go to the hardwood and see if we can get on a heater there. So a lot of Hump Day headlines, plus your daily bananas. So much to do here on the backside of this commercial break. You're listening to The Rome Show on 12ozsports.com. Back after this.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Woo! The Rome Show. 12ozsports.com. We broadcast live on YouTube, X, Roku TV. Roku TV, real cool stuff, team. If you have a Roku stick thing or you got a Roku TV, just go to the guide that literally comes with Roku and go to the 12OZ Sports channel. It's sick. But then on top of that, if you have one of those Roku sticks, you could just, plug that into your computer and bam, you got all your apps plus 12OZ Sports. Soon, Roku is going to give us our own app. That's just like cool stuff. Shout out to the mothership for being awesome, for being the mothership. That's 12OZ Sports. That's why they're the best. That's why you need to subscribe on YouTube. You need to subscribe on X, and you need to subscribe anywhere you possibly can to catch the Rome Show and all the great shows on our show lineup. I got the Twitter pulled up right here. The Rome Show 1. Tweet at us. Give us your thoughts. This person writes in, hey, no doubt, Ichiro. This is a DM, which feel free to DM me. I don't care. Ichiro, without a doubt, should be unanimous into the Hall of Fame. Who do you truly believe should have been unanimous into the Hall of Fame? That is a great question. And something that Andrew tends to do before getting the appropriate information is answer. Okay. So as I've gotten past that 30-year-old mark now, and I've spent almost 4+ years in the 30-year-old world, one thing I've tried to do is think more before I speak. And when it comes to this radio show and clips we put up on social media, people will be very quick to tell you you're an idiot. Okay. And rightfully so. Like, if you come on here and you spew stupidity, you deserve maybe not to be called an idiot per se, but you definitely deserve to be told you're maybe not great at this. So I've recently really been trying to, with social media, with what I talk about on the show. If you look at the notepad that we go through, okay, I'm really trying to make sure that we have great information on this show. So not only is it fun and entertaining, but it teaches you something, okay? So I was slightly prepared for this question, but I say all that to say this. I just need to think before I speak. So I gave you that little runaround to then tell you, after thinking, okay, I pulled up the list of players that are in the top percentage of voting all time in the Hall of Fame. Let me just list off some of these for you, Bob_379, and let me just let you make a decision for yourself, okay? Mariano Rivera, 100%. After that, Derek Jeter, Ichiro Suzuki, and Ken Griffey Jr. all received 99% plus of their votes, okay? So essentially 1 to 3 votes off. For some reason, Ken Griffey Jr.'s year, we had 440 people voting. And in Mariano's year, we had 425 voting. But then Jeter and Suzuki and these guys got knocked down. That is the inconsistencies of the baseball voting. But Derek Jeter, Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Griffey Jr., all 99.3 or higher votes. Yes, those dudes right there should have been unanimously voted in. Some others that are on this list that I believe should as well: Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, Cal Ripken Jr., Hank Aaron, Tony Gwynn. Those dudes, who the hell is not voting those dudes into the Hall of Fame? So my point to what I said earlier, I need to know if a player ends up on this list receiving, change my verbiage. If a player ends up on this Major League Baseball Hall of Fame voting list with 97% or more of the votes, I want to hear from the voters that decided not to vote for these players. So just to give you some perspective, Cal Ripken Jr. received 98.5% of Hall of Fame voting. That means in his year, there were 545 ballots casted. He received votes in 537. Okay, who are the 8 people? I need to know. The Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr.? Who are the 8 people? I need to hear from you. I need to know why. So to answer your question, Bobby boy, those guys that I just listed off. I mean, ridiculous. Another tweet came in. This one more telling me that I'm not smart. People use their votes to get other people more votes. So if they know someone's going to be into the Hall of Fame, they're going to vote for somebody else. Yeah, I hear you. I get it. But like, there's something about it. Like, it's almost like you get voted in. It's almost like you knew you were an NS Hall of Famer. Everyone in America knew you were an NS Hall of Famer. And then these 6 guys didn't. It's like, is it just because they gave my vote away? That's why it's like, just tell me. I just need to know why you'd be the person that didn't unanimously go with 99.78% of the rest of the world. Wild. And don't even get me started, which we'll save for another show, because now these Twitters people got me all fired up. Don't even get me started on how we come together with the committee for the Hall of Fame voting. I got my own thoughts on that, which we'll get to on another day. Plenty of summertime to talk Major League Baseball, because it's Wednesday, so I'd like to get into the hump day headlines for the day. It's that time. We got a few for you, so strap in, okay? We got 6-7 minutes left of this show, and we're going through our favorite segment of today.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Hump day.
Yeah. All right. Hump day headlines. Here we go. The first hump day headline we got for you is, let's put it up on the screen. Hump day headlines. Ben Johnson has been hired as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Ben Johnson becomes the head coach of the Bears after 3 seasons with the Detroit Lions from 2022 to 2024, which during that time, the Detroit Lions offense averaged 26 points per game. And last year alone, the Lions offense was first in the league in points per game at 28.2, yards per game at 395, TD percentage per drive, which was 33%, and red zone TD percentage at 67%. So now Ben Johnson, he goes to Chicago to take over an offense that was not very good under first-year quarterback Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams last year for the Bears was sacked 68 times, and he had the 28th best QBR in the league at 47. Ben Johnson does step into a solid situation with the Bears, however, who have the 10th pick in the draft this April, as well as $74.5 million of cap space. So we'll see if Ben Johnson does it for the Bears. We've seen a lot of coordinators people be excited about, and then they end up not being great head coaches, like Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels is in his third stint with the New England Patriots, this time under head coach Mike Vrabel. Josh McDaniels, if you remember, was a bad head coach for the Browns and a bad head coach for the Raiders. He also prematurely, at one point in time in his second stint with New England, told what team, I can't remember, he was going to be their head coach, and then said yes, then no. I think it was the Colts maybe or something. So Josh McDaniel, kind of certified bad guy, kind of certified bad head coach. Not being mean, it's just what the records say, but certified really good offensive coordinator for New England. Every time he's the offensive coordinator there, they tend to figure it out. So he'll see what he can do with Drake May. We continue on.
Update.
The Suns and the Utah Jazz have swapped picks in the National Basketball Association. The Suns, they send a 2031. Yeah, you heard that right. A first-round pick for 6 years from now. A first-round pick to the Jazz. The Jazz, who have been stockpiling first-round picks, sent 3 first-round picks to the Suns. Basketball is so stupid in this light, though. You can trade picks in 2057, and then they have all these crazy clauses on it. So the Suns get a 25 pick, a 2027 pick, and a 2029 pick. However, those picks are the least favorable first-round picks, meaning the 2025 pick belongs to Cleveland or Minnesota. He gets the Suns get the least favorable of the first round picks for Cleveland or Minnesota based on previous trades. Then in 2027 and 2029, that same thing exists with the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and now the Utah Jazz. So essentially, the Suns get 3 first round picks to offset the lack of first round picks that they had for trying to get Kevin Durant a few years ago. But those first round picks have some things associated with them. I don't understand. Either way, the Suns, they're trying to position themselves to get Jimmy Butler from Miami, so we'll see what happens there. Utah now has 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years still remaining for them to utilize. They're atrocious, though. They only have 10 wins this season. We continue on. Okay, Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. Good on you. Wemby and the Spurs are in Paris, France, for games on Thursday and Saturday for the NBA's International Series. Okay. And Wemby, being from a small town just west of Paris, about 12 miles, wanted to, bring basketball in a positive light to his hometown. And he did that by personally designing a court alongside the San Antonio Spurs that was roughly $500,000, designed all by Victor Wembanyama, and opened yesterday just outside of Paris, France. So just a positive shout out and a kudos to Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs management for funding and putting together an awesome project to continue to help grow the game. And an icon like Wemby in his hometown, I got to believe, is growing the game of basketball at an astronomical rate right now. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the Spurs and Wemby for that awesome deal. Finally, it's your last
update
headline, and that goes to Major League Baseball. 2 signings that I thought were pretty big this week. The first one, Anthony Santander to the Blue Jays, 5 years, $92.5 million. Santander last year for the Orioles had 44 home runs, 102 RBIs, 25 doubles, and slugged .506. This is a part of the Blue Jays, we got to try and keep Vladimir Guerrero, Bichette, and the gang together plan, because those contracts are coming up soon over the next year, and Toronto kind of has the pieces to be good, but hasn't reached their full potential in the last 3 years. And it's is the window closing? Is it not? Well, Santander, really good pickup. The only downside on him would be his defensive prowess, but the offense is a bonus. And then finally, Roki Sasaki, the free agent pitcher from the NPL, Nippon-based professional league, signs a 4-year deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Shocker. Oh, yeah, I know. How did he choose the Dodgers out of all of the possible teams he could go to? I know. Wild, right? End of the day, he goes to the Dodgers, so the rich get richer, which stinks for all the rest of us, but it is what it is. In the Nippon Pro League, Sasaki pitched 394.1 innings, had 505 Ks and a 2.1 ERA, so clearly elite level stuff. He now joins a rotation that includes Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Yamamoto, and Ohtani. So that could possibly be one of the best staffs we've seen in like the history of time in Major League Baseball. Those are your hump day headlines here on Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy it every single Wednesday. So let's finish the show simply and easy with the way we always finish the show, and that's some Daily Bananas.
Ba 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 na na ba 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 na na.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we love it. We hope you love it too. Last night, we chose National Hockey League play. We took the Predators money line versus San Jose. They did that. They were down at one point in this game, 4-1 in the first period and 5-3 in the second, but they won 7-5. The Preds, Smashville, fourth straight victory. You're welcome, since Juliana and I have been in the building. I had the Caps at the +1.5 against Edmond. Cha-ching. We got that one as well. They defeated the Oilers 3-2. Unfortunately, no movement on the Ovechkin scenario. And then finally, we lost out on the Ducks. We took them at the +1.5. They lost by 3 to the Panthers at home. So we transition our sights to tonight, where we told you we'd be going to the hardwood. Let's do it nice and quick. We got OKC favored by 18.5 points against the Utah Jazz. The Thunder are second in the league against the spread at 27-13-3, and second in the league overall with their actual record. They are also covering 70% of the time, the spread that is, coming off of a W, which they just had by 20+ points. So I'm going to take the OKC Thunder at the -18.5. The Sacramento Kings take on the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are underdogs. Sacramento favored by 8.5. However, Sacramento's coming off of a loss. Golden State's coming off of a loss. And coming off of a loss and on the road, they have an identical record against the spread, 10-9-1. Whereas the Sacramento Kings are 8-13-3 against the spread at home and 7-11-2 against the spread coming off of a loss. Both of those are bottom 5 in the league. So, with all of that being said, I'll take Golden State at +8.5 tonight. And then finally, we got the Bucks favored by 8 points against the Pelicans. 43% of the time this year, the Pelicans have covered the spread. 49% of the time, the Bucks have covered the spread. Those are not daunting numbers for me to say, oh, wow, I really am going to choose this over that. However, I like the trends of my eyes for this one. The Bucks playing way better basketball. The Pelicans still trying to figure it out with Zion Williamson coming back for the team. So I'm going to take the Bucks at the -8 against the Pelicans tonight. So OKC -18.5, Golden State +8.5, and the Bucks -8. And those are my Daily Bananas today. And that is the Rome Show on a
Hump Day.
January 22nd, 2025. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back tomorrow, better than ever, reminding the people to be electric. DM us if you want a Rome Show Football Club hoodie exclusive. Won't be out for long. Oh, yeah. And by the way, peace.
Thank you for listening.